Hey guys, Ricky COVID here on quarantine with a little game fresh off the backlog called River City Girls. If you're like me who saw this game off a trailer, you're probably reacting to it like, holy crap, what is that gorgeous art over there? It's almost like the Simpsons arcade game, but instead of going right, you can go left! What an ingenious invention, Professor! But if you're a cautious consumer like me who really doesn't have the money to go out on a limb for an unproven product, you kinda have to wait in the wayside watching people review the thing, and oh my god, a lot of people dislike this game.
To be honest, as much as I like this game, it really feels outdated for the year that it came out. I know it's supposed to be a faithful throwback to the old school.
Reception be damned. There's something really gorgeous about the anime art style that made me go to hell with it and gave River City Girls a whirl. So basically, River City Girls is about Girl A and Girl B over here and their search for their boyfriends, Kunio and Ricky, who apparently were kidnapped. Now, why do I know the names of the boyfriends and not the girls?
Kunio. Ricky and Kunio. Kunio and Ricky. Kunio and Ricky. Have you seen Kunio? And Ricky?
So Charla and Karen go around River City to track their boyfriend's kidnappers, all the while fighting off random people trying to kill them. And yeah, River City gives no fucks, man. Everybody wants to kill you in this game. Wrestlers, cheerleaders, Arnold Schwarzenegger's and it's got this really good attitude to it, you know? Like, they're rebellious teenagers and they can fight and they're badass. From the opening cutscene to the menu screen, it's just brimming with that badass attitude mixed in with a little girliness. WayForward keeps proving themselves to be a top-tier developer in creating beautiful 2D game art. They have been so consistent for years, you really can't go wrong with WayForward when it comes to 2D graphics. But okay, you want to know what I think about the game. If you're playing any beat 'em up, including this one, you're already setting yourself up for disappointment because almost all of them have no depth at all. Most of beat 'em ups are button mashy games where you walk from left to right to get to the next level. You fight minions and monsters, and then usually there's another game mode just to change the pace, and there's a boss fight at the end. River City Girls is that, but what they do here is that they sprinkled it with a little action RPG elements here and there, and you'll get increased stats and you'll get a flashy level up graphic that tells you you're progressing, but it feels rather shallow, not gonna lie. It's like adding one sheet of paper on top of another and calling it a book. A lot of this game is tedious, man. Tedious to a fault. The game functions like an open world, so yeah, instead of the classic beat 'em up where you go left and right, you have to go explore the town of River City. Is it a town or a city? But anyway, this concept, while I don't like it too much, I can really appreciate because it mixes things up, and apparently this has always been the case of how River City games have been played. River City Girls is a spin-off, by the way, of the River City franchise. However, this game adds a lot of padding and unnecessary mechanics to give you the illusion of it being bigger than it actually is. You know, for you to hit harder, you have to level up or eat. Yeah, that's right, you need to eat junk food to increase your stats. Well, and there's really nothing wrong with gaining some stats to make you hit harder, but when you break it all down, you're still doing the same animations. You're just artificially adding +1 damage to your hits. It doesn't change the gameplay, you're still throwing the same punch. At least in the older games, you didn't have to bother with all that stat management. All you had to do was go left to right and beat the shit out of the bad guys. But this game wants to be an action RPG so much that it peppers you with tedious stat growth. Tedious move unlocks that you have to go to the gym for and pay money for. It's a test of a player's patience. But once everything clicks and you have all your moves and you hit hard enough, the game actually starts to become fun and it opens up a little bit more. You no longer have to wait 15 minutes to clear an area because stupid Chris takes too long to get up from being knocked down. When you have a full chain of combos and special you can use, the game starts to feel more fluid. Speaking of specials, they're not really so much specials rather than overblown combo finishers. See, that's a special. It's a modern ass game. Where the hell are the specials? Where the hell are the cool moves? But regardless, when everything was said and done, there was actually a point where I was having fun. About 8 hours in. Which brings me to one of my major criticisms of this game. It just freaking overstays its welcome. For a beat 'em up, it would have been better for this game's runtime to be around 2 hours, playing it with a friend visiting for an afternoon, and it'll have something to play passively while talking about stuff. Instead, the average runtime of this game runs up to 8 hours. That's according to How Long to Beat. That's a day's work. Oh my god, a beat 'em up shouldn't be padded to play that long. What were they thinking? Oh my god. Doing this for 8 hours straight gets repetitive and tedious really fast. Speaking of tedious, let's talk about the boss fights. Well, they're not really tedious, but I wanted to segue into this topic and I didn't really know how else to do. Anyway, the bosses are really well designed. A lot of them are fun. Some of them are more fun than the others, but that's okay. In my playthrough, the only thing that kept me going was trying to see what the new boss was going to be. Their character designs are really great, and some of them come with some funny cutscenes that expand the world of River City and just, brings life into the game. The only gripe I had with these bosses is when I die fighting them, I had to reload the entire cutscene. Sure, you could skip them, but I've already died 5 times to the same guy. Stop making me watch this, holy... Other than that, a lot of them are great. The standouts to me was the guy who lived in a construction yard because of a funny reason which I won't spoil here.
What's happening? It's a flashback. No one cares, Yamada.
We were just kids then.
The Rockstar Noise, who has like a really cool DDR minigame, and the final boss Sabuko, who's like oozing with a sexy and badass vibe. All culminating into an ending that matches the tone of the game pretty well. I found it terribly hilarious. Read into that what you will.
This was a bad idea, wasn't it? Not our smartest plan. Maybe if we twist our bodies just as we land.
There's really a lot to like about River City Girls. Like I said earlier, WayForward never ceases to elevate their 2D art. The music is really good, and the voice acting, I know the lines, are meant to be corny, but the voice acting, the delivery of the lines add a lot to the personality and comedy of the game.
You two aren't going anywhere. What, you're gonna call your guards on us? In case you haven't noticed, they're all beat up. Yeah, we did that for love.
That being said, regardless if the presentation is really good, if the gameplay bears a lot of flaws, not even the best looking art can save some really bad decision making in terms of gameplay. So the big question is, should you get it? Do the flaws outweigh all the good? Well, okay. In a scale of don't bother, humble bundle, wait for a sale, and it's a must-have, it sits comfortably on a wait for a sale tier. It's still something really good to add to your collection, but it's not something to absolutely want. Play it once with a friend who has the patience to do 8 hours with you. It can make the game a lot easier because you can revive each other. Or play it solo like me because I had COVID and I had to isolate myself. Special thanks to Derek T and BusyCross for always supporting me. I can't thank them enough on my streams, so I'm gonna thank them on my video. And that's that. Subscribe or I'll die. See you in the next red time. Peace.